Okay, good afternoon everybody. We're in Sharjah. We're just about to go up Fossil Rock. I'm on the main road here. This is the main Dubai Hatta, Dubai Fujairah, Dubai Sharjah road. It goes right away across the country, directly sort of east and west from Dubai. I'm not certain this is an official car park. They were building a car park behind, and just be cautious when you're turning off this main road. You've got to get to this when you're driving from Dubai, coming east towards Fujairah, towards Hatta, that direction. As soon as you go over the brow of the hill, you see it on Google Maps, it's well marked. As soon as you go over the brow of the hill, start to indicate, and it's very quickly after that, and it's a 90 degree, there's no runoff. I would suggest there are a few incidents there over the years, so be careful. Right then, I've just spoken to a lovely Danish couple and they've explained where they went, and they said you've got to come down here, you see where we're going, you've got to come down here, climb under a fence and then follow the footprints. So that's what we're going to do. This fence is actually quite newly built. Over last year they were building this, rebuilding it. There's a lot of barbecues and campouts here. On the weekend you'll see hundreds and hundreds of little families and groups of friends doing whatever they do. So, what are we expecting? Now there's two fossil rock climbs or hikes. This is the one that is quite popular purely because it's on the main road. Earlier this morning there were a lot of cars here. We've been into Dubai and had our lunch and then come back out. So this is quite popular purely because of its convenience. The other fossil rock climb starts from the archeological centre in Mleiha. So what are we expecting? About 4 miles, moderate, a couple of steep little bits. I'm looking for a place where we're going to climb under a fence. I said, is it easy to... Oh, well, they're not kidding either. Is it easy to follow the trail? I asked them and they said no. They got lost a few times. And this is where you've got to climb under the fence. MashaAllah. So I'll get my wife to hold on to this whilst I go first. Oh dear. What an exciting start. Just yourself. Oh no, I'm filthy. And I'm going to sweat in a bit, so that means I'm going to be carrying a lot of concrete up and down there. Right then, 4 miles, some quite steep climbing at times. We've got 2 hours to complete the route, which should be okay provided we don't get lost. Let's find out what it's like.
And those words proved to be quite prophetic in that a few minutes later we were lost. Now, us getting lost was absolutely no fault of our own, and I'll say this because we were following footprints, and you could see in the sand on the previous frame that we were following footprints. They were obvious, so we were doing as we're told. All the alarm bells should have been ringing. By the way, I'm just ad-libbing now over the film, so this is more or less what I was saying whilst we were climbing and walking anyway. Yeah, we should have really seen the red flags, having to climb underneath the fence and go round the end. Clearly this is not a hiking trail. There's no signs, there's no bins, there's no little stone towers, there's absolutely nothing. This is not a hiking trail, and for that reason I'll tell you later, this is not for you to do. I'm certainly not advocating you do this. If you are going to do Fossil Rock, go and hit it from the other end, from the archaeological centre. But anyway, back to the story. We met 2 guys that said they knew where they were going very soon after this, and in actual fact you can see in some of the film ahead of us they were going basically up the side of the mountain. Now they said they'd done it before this route, and so we were in no position to say how can we believe you. So we followed them, and we followed them up the mountain, and the footprints kind of stopped anyway. So if I'd seen a set of footprints going off to one side, going off to the left, I would have said, hang on a sec, this is where we should be going. So the footprints kind of just diminished anyway. We wound our way up the side of the mountain basically, and it was becoming more rugged, bigger stones, steeper, and it was definitely what we would call a concave slope, in that the top of the slope was much steeper than the bottom of the slope. So I reckon that we would be walking ourselves into danger. There's no way we'd have fallen off. It just would have been a bit of a horrible climb. We would have got to the top if we had to, but that wasn't what this was about. If someone said to me, you've got to get to the top of that climb, I'd just go up there, no problem. But this was a bit of an idea of blogging fossil rock so that you guys can follow our footsteps and we can all have a lovely time. The purpose of today was really just going on a lovely hiking trail. Nothing more or nothing less than that. So as we carry on up the slope, you can see the guys in front of us, and they're in some places almost what I would consider rock climbing. Once again, it was quite safe in that it was an adventurous activity. It wasn't a sheer face. It wasn't like Pedro de Baú, where I was in Brazil a few weeks ago, whereas if you fell off there, you would be dead. It wasn't that kind of danger, but there was sufficient enough to say that's enough for us. Tanya wasn't enjoying it at all. So at this point, what we decide to do is call it a day, turn round, and see if we can find what is the real route. Now, the real route, without a doubt, is quite popular. On Wikiloc, there's 4 out of 5, and there are hundreds of reviews. So I knew I wasn't on the trail. I was just following these two people that had told me this was the trail. So we went back down into the valley, made our way slowly down. I mean, you need hiking trainers anyway, but when you're up on the mountains, Tanya was just in her trainers thinking it was going to be a nice 4-mile hike. And those really were very, very flexible, and they weren't ideal shoes for this. Maybe they wouldn't have been ideal shoes, or there are better suited shoes anyway for when she did the exact hiking trail. But the trainers should suffice on an ordinary hiking trail here in the Middle East, on these sort of pre-designed trails that are quite prevalent now across the country. So we drop down into the valley and start looking for the real trail. The audio does pick up a little bit. I unplugged the microphone, but when the wind picks up, it picks up the wind more than my speaking, so I turn it off again later. So I'll hand you back over to the original audio now, which was filmed during the hike.
If I was building a hiking trail, I'd certainly incorporate this. My wife says it looks like some people have walked down here before, but of course they may well have been lost like us. Hey brother, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Having a nice walk?
This lovely dog.
Wow. Wow, wow,
He looks
wow,
like
wow.
he's still a young dog.
Can I have a big kiss?
How old is he?
He's 1.5.
Oh, he's a baby.
Yeah, so he's super excited, he loves
Keep
it.
playing. What about me?
Oh, that's
What about me?
you might as well go now.
Oh yes, bye. Oh,
Are you protecting her?
Hello. Hello.
Has he got water, has he? We've got low.
Yeah. I've got his bowl.
What's up, man?
Oh, what a bliss.
So what were you saying about this?
Oh, we've just come to the very top because you go up. Hey,
Come, let's go.
you want to walk? Oh, yeah, so basically, it's not very easy path to find. We've been right up to the top, and then you can walk.
We as you two.
Hey.
We as you two.
So yeah, just us two. Yeah.
I think he wants a treat.
Hey, you want some water? Where are you going now? Are you going up to the top? Or
Well, no, we're just having a mess around. We got told by a couple of others over there, follow us, we know the way.
Yeah.
And they're stuck on the side of the mountain. We just turned around and came back. So
Yeah, I made that mistake the first time I came here.
We might not have time enough.
oh, we haven't got time now, but
Walk a little bit further and
we'll
check.
come back another day.
The first time I came with my wife, I didn't know exactly where it was. We walked up there and we looked and we thought, there's no way it's up there. And we walked around there and tried to find it. It turns out it was up there.
Oh, good.
But you'll be able to see, if you just walk over that hill, you'll be able to see what the
We're
track
going to
is.
we'll walk 5 more minutes up there and have a look. And,
He's very thirsty, aren't you? Beautiful.
oh, lovely.
Oh,
I'm covered in, that's all dust from climbing under the fence. Are you going back under the fence to go?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice.
Take the air. Right, take care.
See
Keep
you later,
it in
guys.
church.
Enjoy it.
Take care.
Bye.
Oh, he's beautiful.
He's handsome, isn't he?
Still wants a
Come on.
When I saw the dog, I thought he was alone.
Oh.
The dog alone.
You see the trail there. See it?
Yeah. Like the guy says no for the movie.
No. then. We're still going to be 15-20 minute walk back, so it's been a nice walk. That can't be right, can it?
And now, because the wind has picked up, we are going to go back to my ad-libbing, and we've just climbed underneath the fence. I've just said this can't be right, can it? And I've said that to myself 50 times over the last hour and a bit. So anyway, we're back under the fence. We've walked back up towards, I say, the car park. It's not a car park. Once again, this is not an official car park. I certainly will never go back in there again. I would urge you to do the same. Coming back onto what is in effect a motorway, although it's not classified as a motorway. It's a 3-lane highway, and the speed limit's 120 kilometres an hour. Pulling out a direct 90-degree bend with a bit of a lip to get out is no way to access a road like this. What the authorities should do, they should close that off permanently, and I really mean that. So anyway, what I'm going to say is this is not the Fossil Rock climb. Do not do it. Don't think, oh, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to go and show you how to do it. The only people that enjoy this climb are ones that have actually done it themselves and know where they're going, or are going with somebody who's been and knows the way. This is not a first-timer exercise at all. I guarantee. I mean, that guy with the dog got lost. The Danish couple I spoke to at the beginning got lost. We got lost. If you don't know this hike, you will get lost. And the truth is, there's many, many, many other hikes around that are better than this. The other Fossil Rock, the official Fossil Rock climb, which goes from the archaeological centre, in actual fact is no further. Although it looks like it's closer on the road, it's no further, because when you come out onto the road, you've got to turn right and drive quite a few kilometres before you can do a U-turn to go back to Dubai, if that's the way you're headed. So in actual fact, there's no advantage really in stopping on this one. I thought it was closer, but in reality, by the time you make your U-turn 10 or 15 kilometres down the road, it's it's marginal, the difference. So my advice to you is do not do this one, and I will make sure I get up to Fossil Rock and make sure that I do a proper blog of that one. So in the meantime, we live and learn. That's the truth. Every day is a learning experience, and I learned something today. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you all soon. Peace out, the English Explorer.